I don't know how much value I have in this universe, but I do know that I made a few people happier than they would have been without me. And as long as I know that, I'm as rich as I ever need to be.
Hey kid, what time is it?
It's time to refresh.
For that.
Yeah, it's one of them things. It's a big selling point for clubs now, where they are an after hours, where not open until 12. I think it's probably the way forward for nightclubs.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm talking about everywhere. There isn't many clubs now, unless you're making like a pure day session of it, that you can go in at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and it'd be like good. Do you know what I mean? Like you'll see the odd night at Pure where you'll go in and there's like it's sort of rammed, and it's like, but it's only the odd night. I think the idea of clubs now, I think this is me being boring at the same time. You can have like the midnight to like your 7, 8 a.m.s, right? And then for people like me who's boring as fuck, I like to do like a daytime rave meet, and I'd like be able to get home and like go to bed at a decent time. I'm like that. I seen that. I think she was sharing it. Is it Wigan Reunion?
Yeah.
And I was hoping that was going to be like a daytime thing, or or something like that.
Is it the one for the over?
I'm not old enough to go over 30s. So yeah, I'm not going to that, unfortunately. But yeah, it's one of them things. Like, I think the market's changed completely, and I think if medicine was around now, it probably would be sort of. I think personally, it would have really capitalised it now. You see young lads and lasses who they don't go out until 12 o'clock now. Even if a club's only up until 3, they only go for 3 hours.
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't make sense. So we'll get back onto your story. When do you think that people started taking notice of you? Of like, oh, he's pretty good, him. Or were your peers, where you say people like Cover and that were coming, and maybe they'd look at you and go, you know, there's maybe something about you, or I'm not saying blow your ego up here or anything like that, but there's
I mean, it all comes down to in the club. I was speaking to Cal about this before, like the with medicine, the way that it with the layout of it and the way that it sounded, I could proper get into it. I'm like with smaller clubs, I like it like that as well. You need monitors, and so like places like Pure, a lot of the time people when it doesn't have fucking the monitors, you can't fucking hear yourself.
And you've got a delayed voice when you speak. You can hear yourself, but like milliseconds after.
It's hard as fuck to say. I can't get into it, and you can't hear yourself. Fucking, you're halfway through a rhyme there, and then you're hearing vocals. You're like, is that a vocal? And then you stop your rhyme. You're like, fucking hell, I've gone over the vocals. It's fucking really hard. With medicine, it was perfect. Like the speaker was like where the MCs used on the speaker was there, so you could proper get into it. And yeah, I'd go off on one, and you can tell you just turn around and everyone's like looking over like no shit like that. So I know that I'd like sort of that effect on with at times with people.
So the famous in medicine, the famous circles of MCs. Were you a fan of that?
Yeah, that's the thing with being raised up as well, like Pure. It feels a bit disconnected.
Yeah.
When you're in the crowd, I like that.
Yeah.
That was good, yeah.
Excellent. So what was, personally, in your opinion, what was your favourite years of medicine before we move on? Like.
So 2005, like I said, was probably the first recording which I've got. That's where we were kind of like. That's like where we was starting. I started picking up like 2006, and 2007 was where it was like it was proper going. 2007, 2008, I reckon.
Yeah. And was that your sort of favourite era?
Even 2009, then after then it started going down. But we had a good run. We did have a good run. Yeah,
excellent. So I'm not 100% sure on what happened and why it went away. I don't know the history of that, whether you're doing it, I don't know. You can maybe let us know. But what happened? Was it less people coming out, or?
I think club started. So medicine lost its late license, which was a kick in the dick for it, because obviously that was one of the
clientele was after
it wasn't just that as well though. I think people just wasn't going out as much. People stopped going out. I think prices of everything went up as well, and like you could get a fucking crate from the shop for like a tenner, and then you're going out and your fucking beers have gone up. Like I think it was just accumulation of just loads of shit like that, and just people just stopped going out. So obviously, if the nights are not as busy, the atmosphere's not there. The clubs are getting closed down and shit, and it was just an accumulation of everything all at once, and then it just dwindled out. People stopped going out, and the music went with it.
Was with medicine? Was it sudden, or was it? Or could you see the decline of it?
I think it was as soon as it lost its late license. That was the beginning of the end.
When it lost its late license, did you turn up the week after and it just felt different?
Yeah, it was still going, and it just started dwindling. It just started getting worse and worse, and it was like, can't get us going.
I'm going to ask you this one, then we'll move on from the medicine thing. What was any fond memories of that time? Anything that sort of sticks out at all?
It was just the people that I've met, and just being there in the moment with them, and that sort of time, because you're never going to get that back. Yeah, there was the best days of my life. There was. But yeah, some of the people that I've met there are like some of my solids, like today. Yeah, that's where I met Cal Porno, Kurt as well, and all the medicine lot.
Yeah. So, have you got any stories from them times at all? Anything that sort of sticks out? Nothing that'll get you in trouble, but
it's hard to figure. I was thinking about this, but it is hard to remember because I mean, we took a lot of abuse back then. I mean, I've got to be careful what I say because my lad will watch this back. But the bears were strong back then.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm clinging on to like 2 brain cells.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it's all a big like individual stories or a haze. But like, going back to John, you'd have medicine, and then you go back to people's houses, and you'd have a laugh there as well.
Continue.
I think probably one of the main things that sticks out. We used to always religiously go to Alton Towers. Once a year we'd do it.
Yeah.
In the summer, we'd go medicine, stay up all night, and then go to Alton Towers. Which it doesn't sound like a great idea, but it was fucking amazing.
I think I've seen photos of this.
Yeah.
Did Cal go with you?
Yeah.
I've seen photos. You look worse for wear on them. like thing. It sounds absolutely terrifying, if I'm honest with you. I can't imagine anything worse than going to a fucking theme park whilst being on it all night the night before. I think that would...
we did it not too long ago.
Yeah.
A few years ago.
But did you continue the thing where you went through the night as well?
We went to Blackpool this time.
Right.
And for some reason, it was someone's stupid idea that we'll do it on a Monday.
Right.
So we all went Blackpool on a Monday, got absolutely hammered, and then I ripped myself off and couldn't work for the rest of the week.
Class. I love it. And how was that though? How was it? Was it as good as remembered when you?
Yeah, I mean, when you're a bit younger, I could handle it better. But
Yeah.
no, I just ended up losing my phone. I think I had some shorts on, and I went on that. What's the one that fucking goes up? So the other few of them go upside down, don't they? But yeah, you got like the river below, the little pond thing behind you. Came off, couldn't find my fucking phone. I was like looking, I was like, there it is there. Oh, wait a minute, no. And then you look and there's fucking hundreds of phones.
Class. So yeah, what happened after sort of 2009 with you then? Because obviously, me personally, I can remember listening to medicine CDs, hearing you on them, but then I don't know the gap in between after that. Did you?
There was nights on here and there. Like they started doing. We got booked on at the Pier a few times because they started like having MCs on there. So we did like a few overdose nights.
Yeah.
At Pier. A few other clubs just dotted about the place. Went up your way once as well. There was a late shit. I think it was a club on a boat.
Barrow.
Yeah. Barrow.
Yeah. That's not there anymore, I don't think.
There's a club called Scorpio. Something.
I can't remember what it's called. I think they should call it the Boat, I'm sure.
There was a boat and then there was another club as well. I can't remember.
In Barrow?
Yeah, I think it was Barrow.
You say that's near me, mate. That's still fucking at least an hour 50 away from me.
Like it's local to you.
Yeah.
So there was clubs and nights dotted about what we were going to, doing bits here and there.
Do you still have the same love for it as you did when you were in medicine?
No. I got to a point and I fell out of love with music completely.
Yeah.
I think it's because I'd hammered it too much. At one point, I was doing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday because there was a club in Stockport that I used to go to on a Thursday for a short space of time. But I absolutely hammered it, and it got to the point where I was driving around in my car and I just wanted silence on.
Yeah, I get that.
And yeah, I really did fall out of love with music.
Excellent. And I say excellent because like I can relate to it on a level where it's like sometimes you just need that breakaway. I'm glad that fucking podcasts came along because I remember listening to like early Joe Rogan years ago, and I'm thinking I enjoy this. Am I weird for enjoying listening to someone talk shit for a couple hours? But it's like a breakaway from like constantly hammering music all the time, and it's.
I'd rather listen to talking over music now most of the time. So I've started listening to podcasts a lot more now. But before the podcast thing started to come about, I noticed that when I was listening to radio and that, I'd prefer the bit where they were talking and having a laugh and doing the bits in between. Then a tune would come on, I'd be like, fuck's sake, that fucking beat.
Yeah, I get you. But no, I say that, but I remember when Audible first came along, and I'd be listening to that over like listening to like if I was driving somewhere, I'd listen to that more than music, and I'd be like, what's going on here? But it's obviously you just burn yourself out a little bit, don't you? How long did it take to get over the burnout of it then? So did you have a break away from music, or has it been consistent?
I completely, like I said, I fell out of love with music. I remember going to nights and I was like booked on there, and I'd just be thinking while I was there, I don't want to be here. I want to go home. And also as well, it showed in my performance. I was just couldn't perform just because I didn't want to. Yeah. And I'm very much with about feeling the music rather than if I don't feel the music, I can't get into it. I won't put on a good performance.
I do think, right, and you are one of maybe a couple of MCs in the bounce scene. I think it's very, very obvious when you're into it. Like I don't know whether, but with you, it's your tones change like massively. Like you've got a big range of like how when you're MCing. I don't know if it's purposefully, or it's just something you do. When you MC, your vocal range things, and I think if you're not I've heard like recordings, and don't take this the wrong way, but when you're on form, your range goes fucking throughout, and you can feel the energy in your voice. Does that make sense?
That's because I can hear myself. There's one massive issue, which I'd say to every fucking promoter or anybody who's putting a night on. MCs need monitors. If you haven't got monitors, you're not going to get a great performance from them.
I can understand that.
It's like getting a DJ to mix without your monitors and your headphones. Just putting them on.
I get it. But yeah, like on the way down, I was listening to some of your stuff, and I was listening to you did the like vocal in the booth things, and I had them on, and I think you can excuse the pun, you can set a tone of what your lyrics are going to be about, and before you even gave context of the lyrics, you can sort of see what direction you've got because it's got a feeling behind it. So like I listened to one of them which was like in the booth, and it was like high energy, and then I listened to on the way down, was it there? I'm sorry to the promoter of this one, but I think it was one called Enterprise and Escalation video we did.
I don't know.
It was like 2020, and it was like quite a dark rhyme that you did on the video.
Everybody's bouncing one.
Could be that. Everybody's bouncing promo, and then on that, before you've even gave context of the lyrics of the rhyme, you can tell it's going to be like quite a dark rhyme just by the tone of your voice. Yeah. And I think it's a skill in itself that I think that's what differs you from other MCs, because everyone's got their own flow in what they do, and like you can distinctively tell someone. I don't know off the top of my head. With Farrell, you can tell his energy with some of the crowd hyping he does, and straight away you know that's Farrell that's on the mic. Yeah. Or if it's Finchy, he's got like a certain style in his voice with the presence. Obviously, people like MCB, he's totally unique the other way. But with yours, I always think that your vocal range gives you your standout difference. See, if you were in somewhere like medicine where there was like a group of 5 years in a circle and you came on, I think a lot of people would know straight away that it's you that's on the mic because they get the energy that's different.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think it's important to be, when you're doing this, is to be different, because that's what makes you stand out.
Yeah.
And when I like MCs, that's what I go for. I think, oh, he's different, and I like them because they're different. But yeah, I like to get involved with, like I said, feel the music, and I like to do key change, as the key changes with the track. I like to do it with that and bob and weave in and out of it. Some tracks you can't.
Yeah, you can hear that in your performance. So when you the key changes or the energy changes in the track, but your vocal changes, you don't hear many MCs who follow that style. Do you know what I mean? Which again, I think it makes you stand out. So during your breakaway of not really feeling the music or like that, what got you back in? Was it just a time? Was it a time lapse?
So it was quite a long period, because I would have had my lad, and then I was just setting my business up and just working and doing family shit. And then it was the thing what made me want to come back. It stands out to me. I've said this to Josh Easy. He put his one of his videos on, and watching it, I was like, that's meant that. Was off that. So there was nothing. Nobody was doing shit like that when I was doing it. It was, like I said, there was no internet, no Facebook, nothing like that. And I remember straight away, I watched it again, and I was like, that's meant. I like that. And it was from there. It just sparked something back in me. It made me want to write something. It made me want to get back involved with it just instantly from along them years. Just watching that video, that's what.
Do you think that it's a bit of a different world now, though, that your interest was sparked off a video where he's maybe just in a studio rather than being in a nightclub? Because the years ago, you'd maybe see an MC in a nightclub on a video, and you were like, that looks fun. But when you're sitting there and there's only probably one of them videos where Josh is just looking at the camera, mic, and then rhymes, and somehow you've connected with that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think it's. I've done the club shit for years. I've done that. Been it. I can take it or leave it. I think it was more just of what an MC can do over this type of music, because I've always known that I can write rhymes. Back in the day, I just never did, because I was always I was lazy with it. Not lazy with it. I was always busy. I was always working. Like I've always had a job. So it's just finding the time to do it, and then watching him do that, it made me then want to write. Well, I know that I can write rhymes. Like, let's just spend a bit of time to actually do it and put some decent rhymes together.
Do you know what year that it was that this sort of caught your eye? Do you know?
It would have been, well, it was shot. So I came back to that Russian. It was that night in Wrexham.
Oh, we were talking about this before. Was this 2019? Was it
2019? So it would have been around 18, 19. I'd probably say 19, because I think it was quite shortly after that. From seeing that video, for me doing that night, because I remember I got asked, did I want to go down to the studio with, I think Glover was there, Jones, I think Bellis might have been there, Waynio, Jordo. And we booked Pirate and went down there. I remember being nervous as fuck. Bought a few beers before I went in. Passed me the mic and that. I was like, no, I'll just grab a beer first. So I've not touched a mic since, like, fucking...
Yeah, for years, yeah.
years.
I get it. What was it like coming back? I know you were saying you got the buzz and that, but was it nerves that you never had before?
Yeah, I think it's just because I hadn't done it for ages, and...
But was it the sort of nerves that you wouldn't necessarily get years ago because you just got in and got on with it?
Yeah, I was never nervous years ago. I just used to, didn't give a fuck. But you get a bit older, don't you? And you start getting a bit more. Yeah,
I know what you mean. But yeah, so how did you find that then? So you went to this Pirate Studios and thing. Was it instant? It just
because I hadn't done it even like practice before it, because I'm like living in the house with my girlfriend and we like, around people and you just start spitting bars in the bathroom. She'll be like, what's that dickhead up to? Oh, what are you doing? You're not bad. Turn it in.
Well, you should have just got your fucking Walkman out, put your headphones and walk around the block.
Yeah. And then with the dickhead walking down the street talking to himself.
Exactly. I'd rather be the weird neighbour than the weird one in your house.
But yeah, well, when that started, just got into it and it was just like riding a bike. Just
Did you come away from that feeling inspired to write more rhymes as well?
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I thought because things have changed massively compared to what it was back then. You could just get away with your bullshit, but now it's all lyrics, and like I want to write rhymes and people appreciate the lyrics, and I don't like sort of just battering the same shit out over and over again. Like, people have asked me to do CDs or recordings and that, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to, because I've battered all them lyrics now. I need to fucking write a new bunch, and then I'll do something else. Almost want to just keep saying the same shit over and over again.
Yeah, I get that. I definitely get that. See, when you came back this time round, was there anyone who you wasn't around before, and you've come back and you've been like, "Well, they're good. They're different."
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of people also as well which have maybe been on other people's radars and that I haven't heard of. But like, to say for example, Pressure, I hadn't heard Pressure before.
Yeah.
And everybody knew Pressure was but he's
It's two different areas though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I get it.
Yeah. Well, it's the same sort of thing. Like, a lot of people from down that way had never heard of me on the medicine sort of side of things. So now it's a bit more, the areas are kind of, because as the band scenes grew,
It's got closer together through social media and stuff.
And social media. So everyone's a little bit more connected.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely like I appreciate a lot of different MCs and anyone who can put decent lyrics together and make it sound good. There's a lot of good MCs on the scene.
Is there anybody any MCs that you would like to work with on like a collaborative project where you'll maybe do like a back-to-back video, for instance, or something like that? Is there somebody you think my style would really work with their sort of style?
It's actually been someone Fiddy mentioned on Facebook the other night, and I'd actually thought about this the other day. I really like Bugsy at the minute,
Right.
and he said you'd sound good together. So he tagged Yanis in and said if you're up for it. So I said I'm definitely up for it. But yeah, he's mint.
Class. So when you came back, you started, as you say, you went to Pirate and whatnot. When did the club stuff come back? What was you said you'd done Russian Soldiers. Who organised that one?
Was it Joe Taylor and...
Was it Rome? Was it versus Antidote?
Yeah, it was Antidote,
okay,
So it would have been Rome and Joe Taylor and that.
Right.
Because... Yeah, that was when Rome asked, did I want to be an Antidote? Because although we'd done the recordings back in the day, because obviously they used to come to Medicine and then they'd do the Antidote recordings, which we'd go down to, and I've always been on them. I wasn't actually in Antidote, so it was then when he asked me, did I want to be an Antidote? And then that was then when that night's, off the back of that was when that night came about. So yeah, we did that night in Wrexham, and yeah, it was a good night. I enjoyed it and was feeling it again.
Excellent. That's class. So, with it, like, obviously you said you'd been doing mixes with people on like just as a bit of a mess around to get back into it and stuff, and you got the bug for it. When you got back in the club, did it feel like you'd ever left at all?
No.
Excellent. I like that.
Because it's all, no matter how long it's been, it is just the same.
The same, different place.
Same people, same type of music.
Yeah.
Same.
It's literally the same people as well. Like,
Yeah.
when you go there, the same people who were going out raving years ago, it's the same people now. I've noticed. You have like these like new faces who'll come and go, but more or less the same faces all the time.
Same conversations.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Same bagheads going in with brown teeth.
Yeah, I get it. So since coming back, what's been on your sort of, because obviously now you're not just in one place with like medicine. Since coming back, what have you sort of done that you've enjoyed?
I enjoy King of Clubs was meant. I really enjoyed King of Clubs. It was good that. I enjoyed the content side of it, and I think I'm leaning more towards wanting to just do content stuff rather than. I'm not really too asked about the clubs. I do like getting bookings, and I prefer the smaller clubs, if honest.
Yeah.
I prefer the sound quality.
So I was talking with Cal, and we were saying about this thing. Do you think there's a place in the scene for doing like an MC live PA? So say you made a video online, and you said like whatever content it is, and you put it out there to the world, and it's like a fucking whatever tune, and then going and doing that tune in a club. I think that there is like a market for that. Like,
Yeah, I think it's going towards that now as well, and a lot of the stuff like what's the content, what's being put out, is sort of more like that.
Yeah,
It's
that rhymes wrote for that tune and
yeah
that sort of thing.
and it's a lot more professional.
Yeah, I like it. I think it. One that I think tops the rest was WWE.
Yeah,
I think that set like a bar of like these lyrics are about this subject.
that's
and
my favourite bar. That.
It's class. It's just class. But like they actually went out to fucking Jay's wrestling fucking thing, got the ring and that sorted, and like made proper content, and it makes a bounce scene look fucking pro.
Yeah.
Although the rest of them aren't. that in particular looks great. And then I seen that one that Cover and Luke done is level up or level yeah. That like the ideas behind it is creative as fuck. But like at the end of the day, when you strip it all back, it's essentially just about the bars, isn't it? Within it, it's just a little content around it that's fucking marvelous.
Yeah, it's doing it proper, isn't it? And that's what it needs to be able to grow and to push it further. I mean, if you take a look at for the promotion side of things, like people like BTID, like, they've done everything professional. You know, the content, the videos, everything's marketed, and as a result of that, they've benefited from it. Everything needs to be professional to be able to get to that point. So it's the same with whatever. You're only as good as the last content you put out. So the video is what everybody's doing, and the content's being put out on the bounce scene. Yeah, it's amazing.
I'll give a shout out to Cal on that as well, because that video they did with Pricey and thing that like. I think we've talked about it in passing conversation for. It's like therapy, and then all of a sudden they're in a fucking a fake therapist room doing that. I love that. I love that shit. It's like it makes sense for their lyrics. I mean, you'd see like I know for a fact there's going to be some budget versions of certain videos, whether it is fucking WWE or fucking Pricing Carl's latest one or whatever. There will be some budget ones come up because people are influenced by that massively, and I think if you're gonna do it, take that extra time to figure out the detail of like what you're gonna do. If you're gonna do a rhyme about, I don't know, fucking being on the drink in Ibiza, don't do it in a pissing down Warrington. Do you know what I mean? If you're standing there pissing down, it doesn't cut it. Whereas I think if you do a rhyme contextually, I think you could make it do a thing. Like this is why I can't relate to some MCs when the MC about like as if they're like Tupac or like do you know Biggie? Like you're not living that lifestyle, so it's like it's hard to sort of get relation to it. Whereas you hear some lyrics and they're just like, fucking hell, that's quite clever that, because that's just day to day life and whatnot. I love all that side of the MCing, but I was saying to you before. When I listen to medicine CDs, I think some of it is just a bit. Do you know what you were saying before? When you came back, it was more about the lyrics and stuff. Yeah. I think I prefer the newer stuff. When you listen to that, and it's like say 155, 160, but there's a lot of like hubbity dubbity type thing, and I'm like, I know that people.
I'm gonna put that in a bar.
Buzz of it. Hey, please do.
Hubbity dubbity.
But I do feel like there is like a massive like niche of people who massive niche is kind of mental, but you know, but like there is like a big small group of people who really like love that
I mean, it's all
that
right.
style.
It's all right in a club.
Yeah.
But when you're taking it back and you're actually listening to it, you're now not in the club setting. You now not got the lights fucking flashing on you, and you're not dancing about, and you're not off your head. If you sat there in a car listening to it, you're listening to the lyrics and what's being said.
Yeah.
So that's when people, are pick up on it,
Yeah.
which is why it was all okay back in the club in Medicine doing that, but now it's completely different. You've got to,
Yeah.
it's all about your lyrics, and they've got to
Yeah.
they've got to be bang on. Otherwise, you're going to have people online popping up. Going, what the fuck was that?
You were saying about you maybe wanting to go down the content route. What have you got ideas that's on the back burner where you're like, do you know what? If I was going to do something, do it like this or a theme or. I obviously don't give all your ideas away, but
No, I find it. I do find it hard to have available time, if honest.
Yeah.
I work quite a lot, and so a lot of my time's taken up with either work or looking after my lad. But yeah, I mean, I've got a few ideas. Like he's started getting into MCing and stuff now, and the bounce music. He loves it all.
Class.
So I would like to do something with him.
that would be good. That would be good. You could do something like fucking bars in the van. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be good.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get him trained up. I would like to do so. I think it'd be good to do something like that with him.
So we'll sort of get onto this because I think this is quite a good subject. We were talking about it off pod, the King of Clubs thing. How did it come about for you? Because that there is, although like you look at some of the videos and stuff, and it looks like good press for the bouncing. It is good content. I watched a video where you were in Farnworth.
Underground.
Yeah, and I can't remember who you were. Was it Master C? Was it you were on with?
I did.
No.
Got Jonesy first, then Duffy.
Oh, it was Duffy there. I think I want to think. Yeah. I was watching it and I was just like, you know what? This is exciting. This is what I think. If medicine was around now, that's what the sort of stuff that they'd have been pushing. Did you ever watch Don't Flop?
Yeah.
Like it was. I think there's like a definitely like a small club environment market for that type of thing. You turn up, get a DJ, make the DJ sort of secondary to the whole night. It's about the MCs, fucking get a tune on, bar for bar against each other, and then have it like what medicine was, where there is like 4 or 5 people in a circle, cheer for them, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that the idea behind it's absolutely brilliant.
The concept was brilliant. The only downfall of it was the just the footfall of people coming into the club or getting down to the club. I mean, Underground's a brilliant club, and don't get me wrong, but it's just the location. It wasn't getting packed out for whatever reason. Maybe if it was in a different location, like I don't know, Wigan, you get a lot of footfall of just people who will just fall in there. It'll go in there anyway. But if that, what we did was in a packed out busy club, it'd fucking go off. It would.
Yeah, I agree. And people are there for that, so they know when the music goes off, then like to introduce the next sort of set or whatever. Like they're there and they know what's going on, rather than it just being like stop start.
Yeah.
Like they're here and the atmosphere, even just the cheering of it. And that, like
one time, I'm pretty sure it was fucking MCing to like 4 people. And it was like, right now, if you want DOT to win, cheer for DOT. It's like, woo! Who the fuck's that guy?
yeah, know. So you've won a 3-1 vote.
You know what I mean? It's like it's just
I get it.
disheartening. You can't. It's hard to get into it as well if there's no atmosphere. The final one was good though. There was quite a few people at that one.
I think the idea of it's good. It's hard to do the rounds thing on like nights. Like obviously it was spread out over a space of time and that, wasn't it? And I think that it's complicated and complex if you're not following it.
Yeah, I think. I mean, obviously there's going to be teething issues with it, but I said this to Pressure. I don't let it, dishearten you.
It's amazing.
I said that make sure you do it again because.
Yeah, I agree.
The only thing it will do is grow, and also as well you learn from what didn't work then, make it work next time. But I think it has potential to.
Yep, I agree.
To be somewhat massive.
I think that as well, like obviously you say you got your teething problems and whatnot, but if you don't carry on with this, someone will pick up the ball and run with it, and it will become massive, and you'll be like, shit, that was my idea. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
obviously it won't be called King of Clubs or whatever, but the concept's too good for it not to not work, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that like then? So you were going down during the first round. I watched one of the videos. It was like a draws and to pick out a hat or something.
It was the whole. I mean, like I said to you, it went on for a year. Yeah, it went on for a bit long, but the whole process of it was good. Every single, section of it, from the doing the draws, finding out who you're against, and getting that hype of people talking about it. Then the promo videos that we were doing in between the recordings on the night. A lot of content came from it. A lot of good content, and it was an enjoyable experience. All the lads that entered were all sound, and it's just nice when everyone gets together and everyone gets on, and you make some shit.
I like the fact that it went on for a long period of time as well. I know a lot of people get quite impatient, but I think a lot of stuff, it's like with the TikTok generation where it's instant gratification. That's it. There's a winner. That's it.
Yeah.
I think there's something special to if you get to the finals of that, you've worked all year long to get to that final, and it means something more. Whereas if you do it over the space of a month and then win it, it's like two like fucking entirely like different concepts, because it's like, oh, that's been and gone now, forgot about. Yeah. Whereas you've sort of built it up to that. So, have you got a personal favourite round of what you did, or opponent, or?
The one I did against me and Jonesy.
Right.
Just the tune selections and the just everything was on point.
Excellent. Do you think if they come back and did it again, that the bar will be set higher? Obviously, I know it's obvious it will be, but do you think the caliber of entries will be to
Definitely,
a
I think
higher
there's a
level?
lot of people that didn't enter that would enter now. I wasn't even aware of it.
Yeah.
Because there was people popping up after saying that they wished they was aware of it, or they wished they would have entered. I mean, I seen it when they first started talking about it. But it was kind of like, oh yeah, that's good. But I didn't have any sort of ideas of entering. And it was only when Jonesy called me and asked me if I wanted to be in it. I think there was, because he had in his head from the start that he wanted it to be 32 entries. So I think it was like one or two people short, and asked me did I want to be in it, and then he told me who was already in it. I was like, yeah, if everybody else is fucking having a go, then yeah, I'll do it.
Excellent. I love that. And we'll get on to the video that I've seen a lot of people comment on this one. Did you take your lad down to one of the promo recordings? Is that what had happened?
Yeah, he like I said, he's proper obsessed with bounce now. He's obsessed with the music. I've had to buy him some decks, so he's buzzing about with them. And so when I'm saying I'm going down to Flex to do these videos, he's like, I want to come. He really wants to come down and watch. So I was like, right, well, he'll buzz off it, so I'll bring him down. And he came down to, which one was the first one he came to? He came down and watched one of the videos that we did.
Yeah.
And I brought him the second time, which was that video he ended up jumping on.
I think that's quality. I do. I really think that's just bizarre. That like he come on and you know something. He didn't look that out of place on the audio when you listen back to it. He was like, although yeah, he's young and everything like that. He hasn't sort of cut his teeth or anything, but like he could be an MC. Simply.
That was February when that happened. It was only, we had New Year's Eve party, yeah. And we had the decks out, and we got the mic on, and that was me, Buckley, and Easy was having a blast. And Harry came down, and he was like, can I have a go? I'll go on then. And he started spitting. I was like, I'd heard him like when I've been driving and that, and he's next to me, and I can hear him like going
muttering
along with whatever we're listening to.
Yeah.
But that was the first time on the New Year's Eve that he'd picked up a mic and had a go, because like, he was doing it at first, and I was like, speak up, you have to say it louder. So he started doing it. So it was only the 2 months later that a month and a bit later that we went down to Flex, and he jumped on there.
Is he still in your rams?
he does a bit of everybody's, and then he started doing his own now. He's got a few little ones of his own.
Class. So what have you got coming up then over the next sort of what's in store for you for this year?
I don't know if I can say yet because the flyers haven't dropped. When's this being released?
First one will be, I'm not sure, mate. Possibly tomorrow. Possibly. No,
Yeah.
maybe the week after. If it's not released, that's fine. But have you got any sort of like personal projects or like that you want to?
No, I think so. I've got like I said, it's finding time, and I don't like to rush it. I don't like to set a time where I go right, sit down, write some rhymes, because it doesn't just flow naturally. I'll find that I'll just be one day I'll be driving around or something, and you're listening to music, and then you start to get a thing for it. So I'd rather let it flow naturally, because then you can get some decent shit down. So
Yeah.
I think I just need to probably find some time to get some content out here.
Excellent.
But yeah, it's just it's finding the time, innit?
Right, I've got a couple of questions for you, if that's all right. Do this with every guest. Have you ever watched any of the episodes before?
Yeah.
Right, so you sort of know that, sort of what's coming. So, 2 seconds, mate. This is very professional. I mean, podcast questions. So we do a question from the last guest. The last guest we had on was Jay Viper. He's a DJ from over in Liverpool. He's got his show on In Demand. Funnily enough, he didn't know who DOT was, but he's not in our scene, so it's kind of understandable.
Didn't know who you was.
But he wants to know this. So I said, I've got a question for you. Obviously, he didn't know your name, so yeah. So where did the name DOT come from? And was it a nightmare getting your own domain name? I quite like that question. I was just going to skip the question. I thought it was too good not to.
So my second name's Doherty. So I shortened it down to MC Doherty or Doherty, and then it kind of went from DOHT to then DOT.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of.
People are stupid and can't read, essentially.
It was a bit lazy, and it's kind of one of them where I just fucking did it, and then it's too late now. I've got the name. I can't start fucking.
Exactly. We're going to do some throwback, like right back to the beginning again, to your childhood, right up till now. So this is Throwback Attack with MC DOT. What song do you think of when you think back to primary school?
Oh, it's going to be proper gay. Probably Backstreet Boys. In my fire.
Have you seen the Brooklyn Nine-Nine clip of that? Do you know where he's got them on the fucking... He's got them all lined up. And it's like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and he's like guessing which one it was.
Yeah.
Number 1, take it away. You are. And then
I seen that the other day. Actually.
All of yous, and then that's class. That. So, what song do you think back to when you think back to secondary school?
Secondary school. Does it have to be a song, or can I say my secondary school was just consistent of just listening to crick tapes?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's sound.
I was the kid in the back of the classroom with his earphones down his sleeve, like that, leaning on the table.
Yeah.
The teacher's like, "Someone's got the music on."
What song sticks out from them tapes? There's bound to be one that's like that you think straight back to.
Probably the Italian tunes. Story of You and I, Midnight, something like that.
Okay, that is a good tune, by the way. I love that tune. What song do you think back to when you think to the days of getting your decks?
Italian. I'm on your side, probably.
It's a good vinyl to have, like, you know. What song do you think back to when you think back to your first days of going out?
First days of going out. I forgot the fucking name of them. I'm gonna have to pass. I don't know. I'll have to come back if I remember.
Yeah. And what song do you think of when you think back to your personal golden era?
Shake It Up.
Oh, tune. And last one, what's your karaoke song?
Chef Chocolate Salty Balls. South Park.
Fucking hell. That's the first time I've had that one. I can tell you that now.
I just like it's just the thing of being in a quiet pub there, like screaming down the mic, suck on my chocolate salty balls. It does it for me.
Class. I love it. I love it. I'm going to sign off today with your last meal. So, you're about to get the electric chair because you have. Let me think. What can you do? You seem like a decent guy. He doesn't do much wrong. I tell you something. You fucking stole someone's rhyme bit, and that tape from your mate's been leaked out, and you're doing fucking Avi's rhyme. So go on.
Well, I'll hit my door in a minute.
So you're going to get the electric chair. What's your last meal? And it's starter, main, dessert, and beverage. What you having?
Would it be cheating if I have an everlasting gobstopper?
They don't last forever. I'm sorry.
Do they not?
No.
Right. I was trying to delay that. I'd have for my starter probably camembert in breadcrumbs with jam.
Nice.
My favourite main's lobster linguine from San Carlo. So I'd have that.
Where's that? San Carlo.
They've got this chain. They've got them everywhere.
Never been.
You should go.
It's nice. I like lobster though. Lovely. I like lobster in cheesy sauce. I don't know why. Just that's. I know it's a bit different, but I like it in cheesy sauce. Go on and your
probably sticky toffee pudding, and I don't know whether I have custard or ice cream because sometimes I like to have custard, sometimes I like to have ice cream. Depends what I'm feeling.
Right now though,
Fuck's sake.
you're getting the chair right now.
Today it would be ice cream.
Okay. And then what you're washing that down with?
Jack Daniel's honey, because that's my drink.
Okay, nice one. Just want to say it's been a pleasure having you on, mate. It's been great.
Thank you very much.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, yeah, I have. It's a good experience. I watched the pods, and I'm a fan of them anyway. So it's good to be on and appreciate you coming all this way down.
I know. It's a trek, isn't it? But you know, most of the bounce scene live in this area, so what can you do? Do you know what I mean? Honestly, it's been great having you on, mate. And I bet you were going to walk away from today and you're going to go, oh shit, I forgot about this, I forgot about that. We'll probably do a part 2 at some point. We have been planning, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but we've been planning on doing like an antidote special where there's a few of us around the table and
we'll get a word in there.
I know, they'll love it. So if you've enjoyed this, share it with your mates. I say this every single episode. It's how we get a bigger reach to people, and it's how people's stories get heard. And as well, if you enjoy it, why not share it? Or if you think it was shit, share it, because just share it, right? Go on your socials and say this was fucking bollocks, and I've just talked bollocks for an hour. But go and watch it. It helps us with our views. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this, then you can sign up at Patreon for early access and bonus episodes at patreon.com/itstimetoriffresh. It helps with the production of the podcast, really. Put in some absolute miles. I think I've done some like just for the podcast about, I think it was over 10,000 miles just for the podcast. It is fucking hard graft. So yeah, I mean, or don't sign up, but do that thing where what people do is where one of your mates sign up, right, and you all share it in a WhatsApp group.
No, don't
share the link, because
don't be cheap.
Yeah, no, that's cheap. That I don't know whether the guy.
Scruff.
Yeah, I don't know whether the guy who's paying for it, right, he's paying the full amount, or he's getting his mates to fucking PayPal him the 10 pence each because there's fucking 30 of them sharing it. Do you know what I mean?
Get his IP address and go kidnap him.
But yeah, I just want to say thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure, mate. I'll see you
so
again next week.